So today I want to talk about mental health, grief, um, powerful prayer, and reinventing yourself. I think those are the four main things that I want to talk about today. So, all of these actually are going to kind of sort of go along with mental health. So that's kind of the aspect that I'll be coming from, not really deep diving into mental health, if that makes any sense. So we're going through some stuff, right? The world, the United States, your state, my state, are going through some stuff. But this is what I really, really want you to concentrate on. Could it really be all that bad? And the reason why I ask that question is because, is it normal for you to just see and hear bad news 24/7, 365? Or is that how it's kind of set up? Is it normal for you to think doom and gloom? Or do you not think that anything good is happening in the world? And it's okay if you do. I think I'm just posing the questions because I just really want you to think about it. I often say, especially to my clients and people that I work with, and even people that I'm just having regular conversation with, turn off the TV, turn off your phone. Stop scrolling. Get off of social media. Like, that's not your world. It's not your world. Unfortunately, and this is where the mental health comes in, a lot of us are borderline depressed and we're going through grief. And honestly, a lot of the grief that people are going through doesn't have anything to do with whatever the current events are. It's the grief inside because they're comparing themselves to people and, oh my gosh, this happened, and oh my gosh, that happened. It's like there's too much going on all at one time. I think that's why the news was set up to come on like in the morning, and then the news came on at midday, and then the news came on at night. But now news is like 24/7, 365. How could you not have issues with your mental health? It's just kind of sort of like, it makes sense, right? Because you're constantly bombarded with stuff. You don't even have time to think, process it. It's just always there. It's coming at you 24/7, 365. But guess what? You have control. We all have free will. We all have free will to do whatever it is that we want. So at the end of the day, I just really want to let you know that this is a choice that you're making every single day. And no, it's not good for your mental health. Yes, it does have you questioning yourself. Yes, it does have you potentially being jealous of or thinking that you need this, that, or the other. Or it does potentially have you listening to people that don't have your best interests at heart, that are just on social media to get attention, not to help you. Not to help you, but maybe to help themselves by getting your money or whatever it is. My loves, it really is. We really do need to take personal responsibility for our mental health, for our grief, for the things that we are allowing into our space on a daily basis, moment by moment, second by second basis. It's not good for us. It just isn't. And honestly, the world that you have And maybe, and this is not everyone, I'm just speaking generally, but the world that you have created around social media, around all of these things, is not what everyone else does. I mean, obviously, social media would have you think that that's what everyone else does, that everyone's like this and all of this stuff, and they have like a photographer walking around with them and all this other stuff. And at the end of the day, what does that mean? Ultimately, we are here to help one another. We're not necessarily here to take. We're actually here to give. To give, beloved. To give. But we have a lot of things twisted. And we are, many of us are participating in things that really don't mean anything at the end of the day. And so your mental health is really up to you. And reinventing yourself, the reason why I mentioned reinventing yourself is because you can take the time out and you can enjoy all those things. You can enjoy a normal life, right? And you can enjoy social media. But I think until you can, not necessarily social media, the news, like all of these outside distractions, let me just call it that. So I don't want to just think that I'm harping on social media or the news or whatever. I'm just talking about distractions, because your distraction literally could be that you are at home cooking for your family, or you're at home with your husband or your wife or whatever the case may be, but you're too busy doing other things, whether it be scrolling, whether it be talking on the phone to your girlfriend or to your mama or to your grandmama or whatever, when really you need to be giving yourself your own time. And if you are in a relationship or you do have a family, you need family time, you need man time, you need woman time. Like, what's up? At some point, some of this stuff has to stop. So a lot of people, I see a lot of podcasts and, younger people talking about how things used to be and it's different now and all this other stuff. It's funny though, how old fashioned traditions are winning. People are calling certain people squares and all this other stuff or whatever the case may be. But honey, isn't that what we want, women? Isn't that what we want, was just somebody to care about us and to love us and to just cherish us? Isn't that what we want? Oh, Lord, beloved, please. Have your own thoughts. Have your own feelings. Have your, so again, your subconscious mind is taking in all of that information, all of it. And so you wonder why, let's just say you go outside for a walk, because this happened to me, so I'll just use myself as an example. This was back in 2020, and when the pandemic first happened, and I think around the time that the pandemic happened, I think there was just a big thing of covering trafficking. And I live in Atlanta, so trafficking is, as you know, is really hot there. Well, I don't live there now, but I did in 2020. And so just a simple thing of going outside in the morning and taking my morning walk, I'm paranoid and looking around, trying to see if there's any vans and stuff driving by, trying to look at the cars that are driving by to see if they're driving by slowly. Like, girl, you are paranoid. And it's all because I allowed something to come into my space and affect me in something that I find peace in. I find peace walking at 6 and 7 o'clock in the morning. But because I allow these stories, these things, these feelings, these emotions, this fear to build up in me, I am outside on my peaceful walk, not peaceful, scared to death. looking crazy because there are no vans out there. Nobody's trying to get me. I'm just making a point, beloved. We control this. We control it. We do. And there's a lot of people that are like, oh, I can't believe you don't watch the news. How do you know stuff? Excuse me? It's everywhere. If I never, ever clicked on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all these other things, all I have to do is go on my phone and there will be some sort of like alert that will show me what the latest news is. It doesn't matter, beloved. I don't have to watch the news. If you go on Instagram and Facebook, you don't have to watch the news either, because the news is there. The news is everywhere. The news is everywhere because we have these phones. So there's no way. I mean, there probably have been things that I did not know about, but they didn't have me in danger. Like, it didn't affect my world in like some strange sort of way, because I didn't know it. And also, even if you did or you didn't know it, sometimes things are just going to happen the way that they happen. And especially if you're not practicing any sort of prayer protection, prayer period, believe in God, building a relationship with God, things of that nature. So I'm just going to call this a rant, because I said that I was going to talk about mental health, I was going to talk about grief, I was talking about powerful prayer, and I was going to talk about reinventing yourself. I think I've mentioned all of those in this video, but I think that because I'm so passionate about the fact that people want to reinvent themselves, they want to change, they're looking, typing how to pray and things of that nature. People are going through grief because the country has been going through grief because there's so many heinous things that are taking place in our world and in the United States alone. Mental health is at an all-time high. But it's not just those people that are going into schools or going into grocery stores and shooting people. You, my beloved, me, and just everyday people are having mental health issues. And a lot of it is because of what you're watching me on right now. And there's nothing wrong with it, just as long as it's controlled, just as long as it does not run your life, just as long as it doesn't run your emotions, as long as it doesn't run your dreams, as long as it doesn't, as long as it doesn't harm you and mess with your mental health. So I don't know what I'm going to call this, but I really wanted to say these things because they're important, and also because I don't want you to look outside for a reason why you might be feeling one way or another. At the end of the day, we need to take personal responsibility for ourselves, personal responsibility for our actions, and then decide that we are going to reinvent ourselves and do something totally different. And if that is something that you want to do, hey, I'm a coach, I'm a mentor. I would love to work with you. But if you don't, find someone that resonates with you. I am just the messenger, and I'm just putting out my message today. I will see you tomorrow. Thank you so much for listening. Have a great one.